Hello, this is my introduction video to a new channel that I'm doing. It's called How Intriguing, and this is a channel that I've wanted to make for a long time, and I've made YouTube videos before about, I used to make gaming videos, and I thought that uploading a specific game or a specific one or two games would put me in a niche, and
Boring.
I always heard that a niche is how you grow in YouTube. And that's something that I got very bored of very fast because of my personality type. And I feel that I'm intrigued by so many different things that I was limiting myself to just one game. And then when I get bored of that game, and then I would want to do so much more, but I felt that it was a disservice to do anything else that I was interested in because, well, I didn't make the YouTube channel for that. But I guess this is my second chance at that, or third chance, or fourth chance, or however many it's been. But this one, I'm going to upload basically whatever I want. And that's not to say that I'm not going to do everything in my power to make these videos be watched, because at the end of the day, what's a video if it's not being watched by anybody? So I'm still going to put in the work to make these videos enjoyable to watch. But at the end of the day, the very highest restriction is going to be that I enjoyed making this video and that it's something that I actually care about. So, I mean, for me, that ranges from pretty much anything to sports, to AI, to religion, to politics, to growing in your garden, to woodworking, to learning a new language, to business, to space exploration, to just bettering yourself, the human psychology,
Knowledge.
what that's like, taking a deep dive, taking a look into conspiracy theories, because I love conspiracy theories. I love to take a deep dive into it and get my little grungy little hands on it, even though it's at the end of the day, my final conclusion is probably like, yeah, it might not be true, but it's a lot of fun to think about because just a thought experiment in itself is so much fun to think about, and I like to exercise my brain that way. And I'm the type of person who likes to, if I'm watching a YouTube video, I like to take a deep dive into it and see what that channel is all about. Like, say if it's a woodworking channel, for instance, I'll be attracted by somebody made a really cool cutting board that looks like a 3D shape just because of the way that they layered all of the different types of wood. But then I stay for like everything, all the minute details like edge grain versus end grain, like all the different species of wood, all the different types of tools and how they differ. I just love taking deep dives into everything that I'm interested in. And I'm interested in like almost anything. Like just the idea of somebody being interested in something, it intrigues me because if somebody else can be interested in it, then I want to find out what that is that draws them in, because potentially it might draw me in too, and it might draw other people in too. So I think just spreading that information and those all of those commonalities in what makes things interesting, to me that's just fascinating, and maybe my brain is alone in that, and maybe not. So I guess that's another one of the reasons for making this YouTube channel and this first introduction video. I mean, this video's been in the works for, I don't know how long I've been telling myself I'm going to do this, and I just keep procrastinating. But here we are. I'm finally recording for it, and I'm finally putting my foot down and saying, hey, record this video, because if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. So that's what I'm doing. This is the first step, because at the end of the day, starting and taking that first step is the by far the most important part, because no professional in any profession, whether it be construction, whether it be making YouTube videos and making a living off of it, or somebody that's a professional sports athlete, none of that ever happens unless the foundation of taking that first step, showing interest, and following those interests and actually improving on them. And so I guess that's what this is.
Nice.
And beyond just showing interest in them, actually taking that initial first step and learning about it and starting research on your own, because starting is so difficult sometimes. I find that for myself, starting is like one of the hardest things possible, even though I'll get stuck.
What did he say?
I'll get sucked into a rabbit hole of watching and learning all of these things by like watching a YouTube video or something like that, but I'll never actually go out and do it myself. That feeling of going out and doing it myself is so much greater than just sitting and watching somebody else do it, because you're so much more invested in it. Another thing that's fascinating about starting is, yes, it is difficult, and yes, you have no tools, no skills, no connections in whatever field you're going after, but at the end of the day, the most fascinating thing to me about starting is the only place that you can go after you start, once you are at the very, very beginning, the only place that you can go is up. There is no, you can't lose knowledge in something that you already don't have any knowledge in. You can't lose tools something you don't have any tools in. The only place for you to go is up. And I think that's very fascinating. I guess my goals for this YouTube channel is I want this to be more so a time capsule of all of my interests and how they evolve over the months and years to come. And my interests have evolved so much already as it is. And I used to be only sports. I was into sports so heavily. And then after sports were over and I kind of ended that portion of my life, then it came to finding out how to express myself without being in sports. So I started drawing, and on this, I got an iPad and trying to learn guitar and just make music, and eventually YouTube videos that I was mentioning that came along, and that went pretty quick. But at the end of the day, my personality is I like to try everything. I like to dip my toes in everything and see what I like. And a lot of the time, I end up liking it. And I think I set too high of standards for myself that I'm a beginner in all of these different things, but I expect to be such a professional in such amount of time. And it's very, it gives a handicap to all of the things that I want to do, because it just puts so much pressure on myself and I don't know why I do it. But with this YouTube channel, I want to upload one long form video per week, maybe 10, 15 minutes long ish, around there. And then I want to upload a short every day, because at the end of the day, I said that I wanted to upload videos about stuff that intrigued me. And since I'm intrigued by so much stuff, there's no lack of content out there to be made. And as I was talking about earlier, I want to make videos about things that I like, and I want to like making videos. And I don't want to force myself to make videos about subjects just because they're trendy or views or whatever. So I appreciate you joining me on this first introduction video. This is me. This is the creation of How Intriguing, and it's a super special moment to me, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to express all of my ideas for ways to edit videos and how to make people laugh, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is just sit down and laugh, and not even about anything, just make up stupid jokes, because I like to make stupid jokes. And I think you'll probably see that in the editing very soon. Maybe not this week's video, because this is an introduction, kind of more serious video, but I hope that within next week's video I'll be a little bit more myself. I'm not so formal and this is what I'm doing. This is what no, I don't want to be that. I want to be loose and fun and throw in all the memes and the shows and clips that I like to watch, and just add a little bit more personality to my videos. And that's essentially what I'm here to do. So yeah, I hope this gave a little bit of an idea and the time capsule for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. I hope that I'll be able to look back on this and look at all the progress that I've made and all the videos and the laughs that I've had making them. And I'm excited to see where this goes, genuinely. So Thank you for watching this video. This video will be actually uploaded on Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is the anniversary of this YouTube channel. It's the first video. And one of the main reasons that I started this YouTube channel is because I have a brother, Chad, and we have a podcast together called Monte's Gems. And that's something that's very special to me. I came to him and about 3 months ago or so, and just came up to him with the idea of, hey, you want to start a podcast together? And immediately texted back within minutes. He said, dude, yes. And eventually we came up with the idea that the theme of our show would be Monte. It's called Monte's Gems, and that is our father who passed away a couple years ago, and he was a very important role in both of our lives. So it's kind of a way for us to pay homage to that, but just to bring up all of the stories and all of the humor and knowledge. He had a very big fascination for learning, so that's something that we express a lot in our show, and I'm just very thankful for my brother Chad, and we are actually getting the rest of my siblings on there too as of lately. So I'm very appreciative for him and everyone in my family that supports me, and for my wife and everyone in my life right now. So thank you for everything and trying to motivate me to be the best me that I can be. So if that podcast is something that you're interested in, it'll be linked down in the description and you can go check it out there. I've been trying to post a lot more shorts. A lot of content has been coming out with that. We have some big ideas for guests and just things that we're going to be adding on to the show. So if that sounds up your alley, then click on that link in the description and head that way. But yeah, that about sums up the introduction video. I appreciate you for sticking with it all the way through, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. See ya.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others.